Everything started with BananaJuju, also known for a previous controversy, and recently on June 28th, made a video about an art commission, and she was advertising the video on Twitter. Art is good, AI bad, one of the worst commissions so far on VGen. No wonder more people are turning to AI because their money is on the line. Check out my video, premiere tonight at 6 p.m. CST, link in comments. Tell me your worst experiences working with artists, because I often have the feeling the whole discussion's one-sided. I commission a lot of art. I've had a lot of terrible experiences. I don't feel comfortable the way it's phrased, because AI isn't ethical the way it is right now. And this phrase is something like, oh, they were shitty to me, so I'll do something wrong in return. This gives the feeling of revenge. So on the video, that is currently sitting on almost 5,000 views and almost 600 likes.
I wanted to get a chibi model of my model for my birthday in August. So I started commissioning this early May already, just to have plenty of time, hype up and have something special to celebrate during the birthday. So I found this artist over on VGen. They have a really, really cute style. I commissioned them and it was supposed to be finished already in June, which I thought ordering it in May, being ready in June. I'm just like, damn, they're working fast, right? Here's where everything started going wrong. I hate this with the artist community. Seriously, I'm so frustrated because I understand that the business is hard and you're trying to get as many commissions as possible to make a living, but it's not nice to take someone's money and then you are overworked or you have too many commissions running at the same time. Also very confusing, not knowing in what order my commission is placed.
Okay, something I would like to add to this is unlike most business, art is very human in the way it's worked around. The way people commission art doesn't work the same way big business work. It's way less professional, it's way more person to person, and unforeseen circumstances can really mess up the schedule. Unforeseen circumstances affect the artist's workflow in a commission-based business way more than a big company with lots of people working that someone can just go and take your job. A small artist won't have the same structure as a big business, so you're already starting with the wrong expectation. I'm not excusing artists who take way too many commissions and make a mess of a schedule, but the way you're generalizing kinda makes it sound wrong,
We agreed to push the date until July 1st, which is next week. So after me summer, I thought you know what, I'm gonna contact the artist and see how far along they are on the project. Whereupon they send me pictures of another commissioner. It's not private and all, but I just don't like when people share artwork from other people. I think it's something that is trust between the artist and the customer. The artist started yeah, but I'm working on this chibi before I start working on yours. And I'm just yeah, but dude, you already started working on mine. And now you're telling me that you're working on someone else's? What the fuck is happening? And the commission is supposed to be done in a week. Well, they started getting more and more upset, I had a feeling. Because they basically told me it's not gonna be ready until July 1st because the hair has way too many layers. It's dude, I sent you reference pictures. You knew what my character looked like before you accepted the order, and now you tell me it's way too advanced and you need more time. And it keeps going, guys. It keeps going. They go on and say they need approximately 3 weeks longer, so that would be end of July. And I wrote back I understand the situation and I'm sorry you're dealing with personal problem. I don't know why they brought up the personal problem, because you need to separate your business with personal life, right? It's not my fault as a customer if you're dealing with some stuff. You need to calculate for this, or at least let me know, or cancel the order or whatever. They're trying to guilt trip me.
Goes back to what I was saying, you're treating a small business as if it had a big structure like a big business. And I don't think it's fair. Because the way you're talking, it doesn't seem like the artist is taking an a huge amount of time. You're not being ghosted. You're being answered. They're just asking for more time. Maybe communication wasn't the best, but I don't see much problem here.
Guilt trip me that I'm basically stressing them out. And basically, because I kept pushing and just like, yeah, listen, I want to be quite frank. I was expecting this already in July because I want to get it rigged.
This is another problem though, because like at the same time I understand an artist's point of view. I like unforeseen circumstances making you delay the delivery. I can also see that by the VTuber side because you have deadlines. So it's a tricky situation. From what we're seeing so far, maybe there could have been more communication. That's always the key word. Like
then have it for my birthday stream. So maybe it's best to agree to cancel the order, right? If you can't finish it on time, since it's the second time you can't hold the delivery date. They basically say, give me a week. All of a sudden, they just need a week to finish the project, which was just like, okay, so you're going from 3 weeks down to 1 week just because I'm stressing or what. Also, it makes me feel like now they are gonna stress out on this commission. This is several red flags, right? And then basically I reply, please look after yourself and I will wait patiently till the 1st of July. They switched the fucking conversation and basically, now listen to this and I quote, I also wanted to tell you that please, once this commission is over, don't ever commission me anymore. I'm hating every moment of this commission since it exhausts me and a lot of drawing the same character so often. I hope you understand me. Thank you. And of course, I'm making the best chibi, so don't worry about the final result. Just because I'm asking you if you can deliver by the agreed day.
Okay, this is extremely unprofessional. There's no excuse for this.
Now you're basically telling me I shall never ever order with you again. So I reply back, reading this made me really sad and confused. As a paying customer, I don't want to listen to this. Please stop working on this commission and let's settle on an agreement for the work you have done so far. I forgot to read this, that delivery takes approximately 3 weeks, and I understand I originally mentioned June 13, but I was out of work due to my move 2 weeks ago. I tried to deliver the model as professionally, and unfortunately, I can't work on your model non-stop because of my condition, but I'll do my best. I'm not an AI that can generate images in seconds. I'm human and being, and that takes time to put the heart into the piece of project. First of all, I don't understand why they have to drag in AI into this. What the hell? And why are you comparing yourself to an AI generated image when I commissioned you, I paid you, you're a human? And then they basically answered back that they don't ever want to work with me again because they are literally hating every moment of this commission. So I wrote to them at 20 to 1 last night that reading this makes me sad and I don't want to keep this commission going. So please, let's just settle on an agreement for the work they had done so far, right? I don't know. I feel like I should compensate them for working on it at least. They just kept going all night after I told them to stop. I just want to give you an idea how it is working with some artists, especially since the artist community feels like they are so fucking privileged and sitting there on their unicorns and going like, we're losing our jobs to AI. But then they are treating paying customers like they are a piece of trash, right?
I don't think it's comparable, exactly, because even if an artist treated you badly, AI is still unethical. So I don't think it's really cool to do this comparison.
So I find this is important to bring up. They reply back to me and going,
also, I can see like, oh, just working on it non-stop as a panic reaction, but panic reactions usually aren't good. They're usually like not well thought. So yeah, that was a mistake, but I can see it as a panic reaction. Like, for example, I wouldn't find it right to have you charge for what was a panic reaction. Even though the work was done, had already asked for the cancellation. So I wouldn't find it correct to charge you for the panic reaction, but still, yeah, it's just a mess.
Sadly, I cannot stop the commission now since I already started. And I haven't been able to sleep because I want to deliver it on time. It is causing me stress. The time I've invested cannot be recovered. So I will keep working on your chibi model until it is done. And they just like, no, I can't stop. I'm going to keep going no matter what. Even if you tell me like, no, I'm going to fucking keep going. I'm just like, what the hell? And so they send me like a bunch of pictures where they've just been working all night. Like literally every hour I get a picture of how much progress they made on the character. It's like, stop. I am done. I don't want to keep working with you. I've had enough of your childish tantrums, so please stop. For the love of God, just fucking stop. Then I get an answer back while having morning coffee, going like, hello, I understand that the people can change their minds, but I've already spent a considerable amount of time and effort on this commission. So I like to deliver the final product for you to pay. The thing is, I don't even want to use this chibi now after having these conversations. It's a chibi model that I would never use on stream. Anyways, they go like, I want to deliver the final project, although I told them to stop. I want to keep this thing professional and fulfill what is agreed upon. It is not my intention to be disrespectful. I'm simply stating that for personal and professional reasons, I would prefer not to work together again in the future. I hope you can understand. And I absolutely fucking agree. I don't ever want to work with this artist ever again. Professional. I hate every minute of it.
That's definitely not professional.
Yeah, this is awful, man. So I reply back, you're acting very unprofessional. I am tired of your insults. I refuse to keep working with you. I don't want to keep working on this commission, full stop. I mentioned previously that we should settle on an agreement for the work that already been done, but I refuse to keep working with you. Just understand, as much as you hate working on this, you made me understand more and more that this was a mistake, and I don't want to keep this project running anymore. You can't force me to keep this commission running when I told you to stop. I am truly sorry, she says, that you're feeling this way.
I have to agree on that.
Yeah, she is sorry.
You told them to stop and they didn't
feeling
stop.
this way. Please understand,
you shouldn't be charged for that.
At no point did I intend to disrespect you. What? In fact, I've always treated you with professionalism and courtesy. If anything, I feel that the one being pressured and spoken to harshly during this process is her. And regardless, I remain respectful throughout, even under stress. And since you made it clear that you will like to cancel the commission, I will respect your decision and stop all work on the project immediately. Well, thank fucking goodness they at least got the memo that they're supposed to stop. So now I'm the asshole. And that's the experience of working together with certain artists.
So that's basically it. I've cut some parts on editing to make it more straight to the point. Following that, a stellar studio on the same day made a post saying, hello, since this commission is being discussed publicly, we will also be sharing our point of view. We intend to do so respectfully and transparently, including screenshots and details of the process so that everyone has a clear understanding of what happened. And they also attached a picture of the chibi model, and it's adorable. And then they did indeed make a document. Please support our artist, Shokoko VT, and know that despite everything, she's giving her best in every project. Her effort, dedication, and passion deserve respect and appreciation. And this is their document. Everything began in late April, when our artist posted on Twitter that she was opening emergency commissions due to a very difficult personal situation. She was in the middle of relocating after Donald Trump won the presidency. Although she was a legal resident in the US, her mother was not. And as the political climate became increasingly hostile, the family made the decision to return to home country together to avoid being separated. That post received a lot of support, and many people reached out to commission her work in solidarity. Among them was the client in question. On May 3rd, this client contacted us to request a commission during the same period when emergency commissions were being accepted. Because of the timing, we assumed that this request was also part of the wave of support shown to our artists during a very difficult moment. As I said before, communication. This is a big communication flaw because if the person was aware that it was an emergency commission moment and were commissioning an emergency commission, they would be more lenient to timing, to updates, to the delivery. It just simply didn't know, and in no moment it was made clear, it seems. So yes, this is a huge miscommunication. Hi, Paprikoy. I love your style and was wondering if you'd be available for a TV model. Are you available for work? Hello, yes, our commissions are open. Are you still interested? Take your time to explain to me what you want. The first communication with the client was on May 4th. However, the commission was not officially confirmed until May 3rd, as the client often took several days to respond. If you check the message timestamps, you'll notice that she would typically reply 1 or 2 days later. Regarding the commission itself, it was for a chibi model. The base price was 150 USD, but after the client requested an additional asset, the total increased to 200 USD. She asked if he could pay half of the amount up front, and we agreed to this arrangement as a sign of goodwill and flexibility. First day, yes, it's the same day. Yes, please. I'd be interested in getting a chibi model from you. Are you providing art plus rig or just artwork? Can you tell me more about your work progress? How long it would take? How much? What's included? I sent you my character. Are you comfortable drawing dreadlocks? They send the character. Oh, they send the full character reference on the next day, I see. Once the commission begins, it can take 3 to 4 weeks. If it's Vtuber model, only the art. And then 2 days later, is it 3 days later actually? Because 5, 6, 7, yeah, it's 3 days later. So for just the model art, 150. Is that included with the monkey tail or does this cost extra? How many revisions are included and how often do you update? Shouldn't you check this in the terms of service? Okay, yes, the tail is included and the revisions are unlimited. Sounds amazing. Is it full payment upfront or do you offer payment plans? Oh, and if possible, can you send me some of your previous work like showcase? This is VGen. Shouldn't it be displayed? Shouldn't you be able to see it? This is just weird to me. This is one I'm working on and my first chibi. Oh, so it's their first chibi. That's why there's no reference. The chibi is so cute. I would love to get one from you with dreads, of course, and the jungle outfit. How many outfits do you want? Thank you. I'm glad you like my art style. Another day later, yeah. The first model to the left is just a nude base. Second is the main outfit. That one I want for the chibi. For the outfit to the right, I may want to get for the future, but focus on jungle outfit first. I would love to get a big banana plushie as an extra expression. Possible to get the chibi to sit down the toggle. Payment plan, pay half now and half when finished. Let me know what you think. Would be cool if she could sit on a big banana as a toggle. Let me know if possible. For the extra expression, the big banana plush, you have some example? I could sketch something? Yes, please. It's gonna be very helpful. And then the next day, they send the reference. Oh, now I understand. Give me a while to quote how much the total will be. What? Didn't they say the rigging was not included? Start with artwork order first. Let's discuss rigging once the artwork is down. I would love to work together. Let me know if I can place the order. So yeah, it says 200 for the model. And then, yeah, it took 1 day to answer again. Happy Mother Day. Would you like to pay me directly through PayPal? The PayPal account linked to my VGen is currently experiencing some issues. Let me know what works best for you. Let's try here first. If it doesn't work, then we can try just PayPal. Can you send me a custom offer, half price now for the artwork and half when delivery is ready? And then we can talk about rig later. Of course, so it would be just the VTuber in the banana costume, right? Let's try VGen first. I'll be waiting for the request. Let me know when you put the request. So the next day they put the request, they send a proposal. Sorry for asking, but why is it 200 now? And didn't we agree on half now? Yeah, they made a mistake. They changed it and then things were set. at one point, the client questioned our professionalism. However, we believe it's important to point out that while paying only half of the commission upfront is not a standard practice, we understood her situation and out of an empathy and flexibility, agreed to her proposal. Okay, I think this is kind of weird because half first and then the other half when the service is finished is quite standard. It is standard. So it feels weird to place it as if you're doing a great action. And I get the frustration of someone taking like a day to answer. It could also be due to time zones. I don't know where BananaJuju is from, but time zones are real and not everyone is available every day. So I wouldn't say like taking a day to answer is a huge lack of professionalism when time zones exist and we have to deal with them when doing e-commerce in English. Likewise, when someone requests a service, it's generally expected that communication remains consistent. Taking 2 days to respond repeatedly could also be viewed as unprofessional and may suggest a lack of interest in the service being provided. Despite this, we continue to handle the process with respect and commitment. May 13, 12, 11. Okay, now they took 2 days. But no, they only took one because you sent it on the 10th. So it really sounds to me like a time zone problem and not a lack of professionalism problem. Because people are busy, time zones exist. I don't really see, like, they usually just take 1 day. This could mean people are busy in different times and we're not always available. And also time zones exist. This doesn't feel like a big problem to me, actually. Upon arriving in her home country, our artist hoped to settle in and resume work. Although she was able to work for 1 week, the circumstances were far from ideal. She was sharing the living room of her sister's house with her mother, had no personal space or proper desk, and the only way she could work was sitting on the floor. Additionally, the emotional toll of being forced to relocate, not by choice but out of necessity, was still deeply affecting her. This had a significant impact on her mental and emotional well-being, making it possible for her to continue working through the month of May. Nevertheless, during the 1 week of productivity, our artist did manage to send a progress update to the client, which was the following. And she answered on the same day, so she gave feedback. Despite all the challenges, our artist still had other emergency commissions previously accepted, meaning the client in question was not the only one in her queue. It's also important to clarify that our artist has a psychological condition that prevents her from focusing on a single commission for extended periods. Working intensely on the same character for too long causes her discomfort, which is why she needs to take breaks or switch between different projects to maintain her emotional well-being. Even so, she was committed to not delay this particular commission. She made the effort to continue working from her iPad, despite not having other proper tools. Nevertheless, on May 25, she managed to share a preliminary sketch with the client as a sign of progress, which I can't see if was answered on the same day, and they're asking to contact through Discord. So it seems like they answered the next day the request to communicate through Discord and also reply to the TP. I would say though, why did you not communicate? If you're having such a struggle, it's such an understandable situation. If it's affecting you to a point it's hard to make progress, you should have communicated in more details what was happening so the client could understand that it was serious stuff. It was a lack of communication, as I said previously. I'm just about to get back to you about the drawing. So cute. I love the little chibi. I wanted to ask if I make her hair longer. Hence an example. They're all sweet. Everything was sent on the same day, so like, BananaJuju was answering on the same day. Again, they're discussing stuff. She's saying she loves the TB, and everything is being communicated on the same day. That was the last update our artist provided during the month of May. On June 4th, our artist was finally able to move into her new home. For the first time since the process began, she had her own room and a proper desk, allowing her to focus fully on her work. Naturally, setting up and organizing her new space took some time, so our artist asked the client if she could have a bit more time than originally expected. The client agreed and gave her a deadline to the end of the month to deliver the commission. Although the artist felt the time frame was tight, she believed she could finish on time. Eventually, our artist was able to begin working seriously on the Vtuber model. However, the client decided to make several changes that were not included in the original reference sheet. We forced the artist to redo several parts of the body. At the same time, our artist was also working on another Vtuber model commissioned by a different client who had booked earlier than the current one. That one client was also asked for extra time, and upon explaining the situation, they were very understanding. As a result, the working environment was much more pleasant, and the commission was delivered within the agreed deadline. This is adorable. Thank you for sharing your update with me. Choco says, you're welcome. And Juju says, please note that the orange top is not supposed to be shown if wearing that leaf bikini. I know it is on the reference picture I sent you, but once you had jungle outfit on it actually tug off. It's part of the nude quote-unquote base model. And then it shows the reference. He was answered the same day again. Also, vines are on the tail. I think it's not the reference I sent you. Okay, those are true revisions. Didn't you say the revisions were unlimited? This isn't adding up. I shown the screenshots at all times, despite the requested changes, which would normally occur additional charges. Our artist chose to be understanding with the clients. She recognized that forgetting certain details can happen to anyone, and decided not to charge extra for those adjustments in order to keep the experience friendly and accessible. Then I come back to her questions and say, how many revisions are included? And the artist says, revisions are unlimited. 2 and 2 aren't adding up. This is where the main issue began, which ultimately led us to not deliver the final model to this client. The client started asking our model artist when the commission would be ready. Our artist informed her, providing evidence that she had just finished the previous commission and was ready to start the final step, which was rendering the client's model. And this is where, as she said, they sent the other model, like a screenshot of the model, and I get that, it's not exactly professional to do that. And then they say the model would take more time because it has a lot of layers. And Juju said, it's adorable. Thank you for adjusting the hair. And I understand that you're busy. Please don't burn yourself out. I was just curious to know when approximately would be finished so I can start planning TB debut. Dream is to get it for birthday stream in August, so I think you'll be finished by July, so I have time to rig it. And then Choco says, oh, you need your commission for July. Let me see if I can finish by next month. I'll do my best. Either way, I'll let you know if I think I won't be able to finish it on time. And then Juju says, Only Janet said guaranteed delivery by 1st of July, so that's why I'm curious to if it will be possible to get by then. Originally the date was 13th of June, and then we agreed to push it forward to July 1st, so how much longer do you think you need? I don't think you will be ready by July 1st. Your hair has many layers and I still need to make the banana acid. I hate to go against an artist like this, but this seems unprofessional. You can't decide on your own deadline. I get that you went through problems, but you're not aware of the deadlines you placed on a commission? This doesn't seem right. Here, our artist again asked for more time and explained her psychological condition to the client so she could better understand the situation. However, the client did not care and continued pressuring the artist. When there was only 1 week left before the final delivery, our artist requested 3 weeks to finish the rendering expressions and the assets, but the client kept up the constant pressure to the point that it made our artist cry. If you look at the messages, at all times our artist remained respectful and polite, while the client was losing her temper and showing frustration. We want to make it clear that from the beginning, our artist was strongly against working with this VTuber. However, after internal discussion, we asked if she could make an exception just for this once, as we did not plan to publish the final work in our portfolio and had already decided that we would no longer accept commissions from this client after this project. It's also important to note that our artist is an Afro-Latina woman who, on a personal level, is firmly against certain behaviors or attitudes associated with this client. The she was going through a very difficult time due to her immigration and financial situation, and ultimately accepted the commission out of necessity. And then Juju says, yes, I understand that the hair is a lot of work, but you knew this before accepting order. What hairstyle she had? I just want to know how much longer it would take, considering you you have other commissions on the side. I want to know your priority and in what order my commission falls. Don't take this as a critic. I just want to know so that I can plan my busy schedule around this. Can you give me a date when to expect you to finish the CB or not? Honestly, feels reasonable. The delivery will take approximately 2 weeks. I understand I initially mentioned June 13th, but I was out of work due to my move 2 weeks ago. I tried to deliver the models as professionally as possible, which is why I take my time. If you'd like to speed up the process, we can remove the banana asset from the model. Unfortunately, I can't work on your model non-stop because of my condition, but I'll do my best. I'm not an AI that can generate images in seconds. I'm a human being who takes their time, but heart into every piece of work. Every stroke to carry is care, and each delivery reflects my effort and passion for what I do. And then Juju says, I understand the situation. I'm sorry to hear you're dealing with personal problems. We all have our load to carry. I recently moved and know how much stress that is. And here I say, why you're not communicating the situation you just went through of going back to your home country because of all the shit going on in the US. You should have communicated that, because it's a big problem, it's a big move. And why do you not communicate that? So that the hard moment you're going through could be properly explained to one of the people you own art to. Continuing. However, as a paid consumer who supports human artists, I don't know why you had to bring up AI considering I choose to work with you and rely on clear communication. If the delivery date is set, I trust the artist knows how long it would take them to complete the project. It is the second delivery date, and I don't want to keep pushing it forward a third time. You knew what hairstyle and outfit was included in the project before you accepted it. I don't feel it's fair to say that I should remove things I already paid for. That's how I stand. Fuck AI. So tired of people constantly bringing it up. Well, you brought it up in your video. Anyway, continuing. But considering artists don't deliver what they promised, there's no one more and more people turn to it. You should have been clear from the start that it would take several months to complete this project. Maybe best to agree on cancelling the order if it can be finished in time, since this is the second time you can't hold the delivery date. And then Choco says, give me a week. I'm tired, but I'll try to give you in a week. And Juju says, please look after yourself. I will wait patiently till July 1st. Please don't forget that you've only paid half of the model so far, and the other half is still pending. And then Juju says, yes, as agreed, I pay full price when model is delivered. If not delivered, then I want a refund for terminating contract. And then Choco says, once the model is started, there are no refunds, and the delivery date has already been justified. And Juju said, I'm not paying full price if the model is not delivered by set date, July 1st, which seems fair, honestly, fair. And then Choco sends up an 8 and says, since the rigging is not paid yet, I'm going to ask the rigger if she still wants to work with you since she has other clients before you. I also want to tell you that please, once this commission is over, please don't commission me anymore. I'm hating every moment of this commission since it exhausts me a lot to draw the same character so often. I hope you can understand me. Thank you. Of course, I'm making my best for this CB, so don't worry about the final result. And to this I say, I get it, you have problems. I get that you were against accepting this commission to begin with, but you ended up accepting it. And saying this is not only extremely unprofessional, but all the client seems to be doing is asking for a clear deadline, since you've already requested 2 deadline extensions. We need time to plan the rigging. At this point, our artist makes it clear that she'll complete the commissions agreed, but politely asks the client not to contact her again the future. There's no way to do this politely. This decision stems from the ongoing frustration caused by the client's lack of empathy and respectful communication through the process. And I say to that, did you properly communicate the bad situation you're currently facing? I get you're going through a hard time. When I was going through hard times, I said to my clients, I'm going through this, and that. Did you say that you're going through this, and that? Or just to play, oh, I'm moving, or oh, I have a psychological condition that I can't draw the same chart for a long time. Did you say that you're getting out of the US due to the elections? Did you properly communicate? We also owe something to the people commissioning us. We want to emphasize that despite the emotional toll the situation took on her, our artists remain kind, professional, and respectful. Forget that deadline isn't exactly professional, if I do say so myself. In every message and update, her priority was always to deliver quality work and fulfill her commitment, even under pressure and emotional distress. And then updates. This is where the most confusing part of the situation begins. The client starts portraying herself as if she hadn't pressured our artist from the very beginning. Suddenly, she asks us to stop the commission, and honestly, it's perplexing. No, it's not perplexing. You asked her to never commission you again. Who wouldn't be uncomfortable with that? It's not perplexing, honestly. Our artist had worked overnight in an effort to meet the deadline the client insisted on. But now that the artist sets a clear boundary, the client changed her tone and claims to feel hurt by the situation. In response, our artist explains that although she respects the client's wish, the time, effort, and emotional toll invested in this project cannot be undone. Therefore, she had decided to complete the commissions originally agreed and deliver the final product, bringing this working relationship to a close. You can just stop working on it. And then Juju said, "Stop. I'm done. I don't want to keep working with you. I had enough of your childish tantrum. Stop." And then Choco says, "Hello, I understand that people can change their minds, but I've already spent a considerable amount of time and effort on our commission. So I'd like to deliver the final product you paid for. I want to keep things professional and fulfill what was agreed upon. It's not my intention to be disrespectful. I'm simply stating that for personal and professional reasons, I would prefer not to work together again in the future. I hope you can understand, and there's no polite way to say that. Sorry. There's no polite way to say that." Juju says, "You are acting very unprofessional, and to be quite frank, I'm tired of your insults. I refuse to keep working with you. I don't want to keep working on this commission. Full stop. I mentioned previously that we should settle an agreement for the work that has already been done. I refuse to keep working with you. Just understand, as much as you hate working on this, maybe understand that it was a mistake working with you. I don't want to keep this project running anymore. You can't force to keep this running when I told you to stop." And then Choco says, "I'm truly sorry to hear that you feel this way. Please understand that at no point I did intend to disrespect you. In fact, I have always treated you with professionalism and courtesy. If anything, I feel I was the one being pressured and spoken too harshly during this process. Regardless, I remain respectful throughout, even under stress. Since you've made it clear that you would like to cancel the commission, I will respect your decision and stop our work on the project immediately." And then Juju says, "Thank you. I'm glad you understand. Let's settle on how to end this. May I also suggest you get some rest and stop accusing your customers they are making work too hard. That's not professional at all. And then you were the one rude. You could have kept that to yourself." And then Juju says, "Have you decided how to settle this?" And Choco says, "Hello, I hope you're doing well. I understand that you no longer wish to continue with the commission, but I wanted to confirm with you. If you're still interested in having it completed, I would be happy to adjust my schedule to deliver it by the 30th. As originally agreed on VGen. I truly appreciate your time and patience." And Juju says, "My idea is to pay you for the work you've done. No need to finish it. We should settle on a price for the work you put into this project and settle me the PSC file. Let me know what you think. I don't want you to keep going with this project that you hate working on." Despite everything that had happened, our artist decided to put an end to the conflict by offering a clear solution. She requested the full remaining payment in order to complete the commission, as the idea of stopping the project originally came from the client herself. With this decision, our artist aimed to bring the process to a professional close, either by delivering the completed work as agreed, or by definitively ending the collaboration if the client no longer wishes to proceed. "Hi," Choco says, "Hi. I want to be honest with you, I don't feel comfortable handing over my work to someone else to finish. I'm not that kind of artist. It's been 2 days, and emotionally I'm feeling better. Despite everything, after seeing the progress I've made on your model, I feel proud of what I've done so far. What really affected me at first wasn't the drawing itself, but rather the pressure I felt from you. You told me to take my time and not overwork myself. Yet at the same time, you kept asking for the model to be done as soon as possible, even after I clearly told you I needed 3 weeks to finish it properly. I don't hate your model. In fact, working on it helped me step out of my comfort zone, especially when it came to art design. That helped me grow as an artist. What I couldn't tolerate was that, despite explaining that I had earlier commissions to complete first, you kept pushing for a deadline that I had already said wasn't feasible. But you're the one who set the deadline. Why did you set a deadline that wasn't feasible? Yes, you commissioned me back in May, but at the time I was in the middle of moving. That's why I only managed to finish the base body, which I showed you in the initial updates. And then I asked, why didn't you not say your situation was terrible? Because There's a big difference between a move to another house and a move to another country, out of necessity. I finally moved into my new place 3 weeks ago and started working through my backlog. Most of my clients were understanding and gave me extra time. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case with you. You also only paid half of the commission. I accept that because you explained it was all you could afford at the time, and I choose to trust that, so now I'm giving you 2 clear options. 1, you can pay the remaining balance and I will complete your model on time. Only the asset your expressions are left. 2, or as you previously insisted, we cancel the commission. I would like to end this professionally and peacefully. Thank you for your understanding. However, the client requested the unfinished files with the intention of completing the model herself or handing it over to another artist to finish. For our artist, this request is completely unacceptable, as she does not allow other artists to alter or complete her work. Her policy is very clear. Her designs must not be modified by third parties under any circumstance. Then you could just say no? Maybe? There's nothing stopping you from saying no. Through this decision, our artists aim to close the process professionally, either by delivering the finished commission as agreed, or by formally ending the collaboration if the client no longer wishes to proceed. And despite the clear and respectful offer made to resolve the situation professionally, the client chose to respond by disrespecting our artist, undermining her work and attitude, and making demands regarding a commission that was not fully paid. We find this behavior unjustified, as from the beginning, everything was handled with transparency, empathy, and flexibility. The artist accommodated multiple requests, accepted a partial payment as an exception, and still endured constant pressure and inappropriate treatment. We want to reiterate that no client has the right to demand a finished product without fulfilling the full payment, let alone impose conditions regarding the use of an unfinished file. Juju says, dude, listen, whatever personal things you're dealing with is not something you drag into a paid contract. And then comes what I said before, Juju's treating this like as a big business instead of a small business. Imagine if I show up at work and tell my boss I can't work because I'm moving. They would tell me to take time off and I would have to tell them how long it's going to take before I can come back to work for them. This applies for any transaction. We need to treat it as work when you receive payment for your services. I also didn't pressure you into anything. I agreed to stay in the order. I gave you more time, but then to assume we can just keep delaying it more and more without clear communication is not okay. If I would have known the order would take several months from the start, I wouldn't have commissioned you. You should be honest with your customers. Why say you need 1 month to complete the order when you know you have several other commissions on the side? I also suggest you let me know in what order my commission falls, how many commissions have to be done before you start working on mine. And again, I gave you more time. I only asked to finish the model on a great delayed date. It's not the customer's fault if they take on too much work and can't keep the promised deadline. Let's do it like this. Finish the model but skip the extra asset outfit and adjust the price. Full payment also the leave. The leave date July 1st. If delay, you should compensate me for extensions. PSD file of the model, no extra outfit, so layer the price to original rate without extras. Stop projecting your problems onto me. We are in a business transaction, so you should treat us such. I do think art commissions should be more lenient than business transactions, but there's truth to this. She isn't completely wrong. Document follows, and this is how our artist responded. Respectfully and professionally. Thank you for trusting me with your project. I'm truly sorry that this experience hasn't met your expectations. They regret that we weren't able to align in terms of communication and timing. I always strive to treat my clients with kindness and professionalism, even in difficult moments. These words reflect a sincere effort to resolve the conflict with maturity and respect. Despite emotional challenges, constant last-minute changes, unfair pressure, and the lack of full payment, our artists never responded with disrespect or hostility, and maintained a professional attitude at all times. So you're telling me that telling someone to never commission you again is something professional. I see. Also, you only showed 2 changes, which you said unlimited revisions, and they weren't even the rendering phase yet. So it's not huge. Unfair pressure. I've only seen her asking for a proper deadline. Lack of full payment. You're the one who accepted half before, half when done. And I would say asking someone to never commission you again is a hostility. Even if said quote-unquote polite, and then Choco says, thank you for trusting me with your project. I'm truly sorry that this experience hasn't met your expectations, and I regret that we weren't able to align in terms of communication and timing. I always strive to treat my clients with kindness and professionalism, even in difficult moments. I always strive to treat my clients with kindness and professionalism. Oh, it's repeated. Okay. And then Juju says, I take it from your copy-paste message to agree on my terms and finish the project. Choco says, after taking time to reflect on the situation, I've decided that I will no longer continue with the project. I'm truly sorry we couldn't reach a mutual understanding, but I believe this is the best decision for both of us. And then Juju says, you can't keep the down payment without delivering anything. I demand a full refund or the files that have been worked on. Otherwise, there's no transaction to begin with. To that I say, terms of service. I don't know the artist's term of service. That should be checked. That should be consulted. I want give an opinion on that because terms of service. Work has been done before you ask for a cancellation. I don't think a full refund would be fair. But that's just my take on my terms of service. It all depends on the artist's terms of service after all. At that point, the client completely lost control, raising her voice. How can you raise your voice over text? Or artists and demanding a refund that was not justified. However, despite the disrespect and the fact that our policy clearly states that once work on a commission has started, refunds are not offered. Fair, our artist still chose to issue a full refund. Okay, that's your decision. She did this not because she had to, but because she didn't want to keep money from someone who had treated her with such hostility and negativity. For her, integrity and peace of mind are more important than any payment. And then showing the refund. Oh, in the event of the commission is unable to proceed, the cost of the work not carried out will be refunded according to the discussions. She hadn't paid in full, so. And then Shoko says she will make her refund, and then the refund. And that's how the situation came to an end. Our artist processed the refund as, to be completely honest, she had already planned to issue it beforehand. So it wasn't a big issue for her. Her goal was always to handle the matter with respect and professionalism, even when things became challenging. And then the tweet. But today we saw the video posted, and we decided not to remain silent. In that video, you said you now understand why some people chose to use AI instead of hiring artists, which I think is total bullshit. But statements like these are not only hurtful but deeply harmful to the entire art community. When an artist puts time, effort, skill, and emotion to creating a custom piece, comparing their work to an automated tool with no soul or genuine artistic understanding devalues human creativity and feels an unfair and misinformed narrative. Furthermore, AI cannot replace empathy, communication, or other deeply human creative process. Hiring an artist isn't about receiving an image, it's about collaboration and mutual respect. Those words weren't just disrespectful to our artists, they were disrespectful to the entire community of ethical and passionate creators. Please always support artists, even when things get tough. Behind every artwork is a person who pours their heart into what they create. And this was their document. I hate to be the person. I was trying to give the artist the benefit of that. I don't think they handled this in a good way at all. I'm not saying they're a bad person. I'm just saying I don't think they handled this well at all. And I think if she wasn't a creator known for having AI takes, this wouldn't be the same. If she hadn't been a creator already involved in drama, this situation wouldn't be the same. So in the end, I don't think this was professional at all. We should also point that as a studio, why is the artist being brought up like that? And shouldn't the studio have helped manage the situation? I hope the artist is doing better. I hope their mental health, physical health, the safety of their place, I hope everything's doing better. But professionally, it wasn't that. What about you? What do you think about this? Make sure to leave a comment. Bye bye!